Alright, so I just came back from watching the new Joker movie, right? And I found this absolutely stupid 30 Joker plot holes article on Esquire.com. And I found it so stupid that I just thought I would talk about it. Because a lot of these plot holes are just so ridiculous, it's funny. Now, first of all, wasn't the fun of Joker in the first place that he had no backstory, that he was simply an agent of chaos? No, that is completely subjective, and this Joker is a whole new Joker that we've never seen before. Therefore, and he's a Joker that is supposed to have a backstory. Just because it's the Joker doesn't mean that he doesn't have a backstory. And I don't. This isn't a plot hole at all, it's just funny. And then two, which is also not a plot hole. If his relationship with Zazie Beetz was all imagined, what other major characters or plot points must have also happened in his head? It's completely, or at least I think it's completely, done on purpose that we don't know, because a lot of the things in the Joker movie are, of course, in his head, and we don't really know what's real or not. That's the whole fun of it, really. He's an unreliable narrator because he's mentally ill and he has moments of psychosis, and we can't really distinguish from his moments of psychosis and reality because he is the narrator. He is who's telling the story, really. And did the entire late night appearance scene happen in his head? Also not a plot hole at all. Same thing regarding that. Did the afterword of him in Arkham Asylum really happen? Same thing, not a plot hole. Why establish an unreliable narrator with no basis or benchmark for reality? That is just a stupid statement. You could just ask, yo, why make this movie? Yo, why is this movie like this? Yo, why isn't this movie like this? It's a movie. It's the director's vision of what the movie should be like. And I think that's also a completely subjective statement. Like, why do that? Why not do that? You can just ask that to that question. Are we supposed to care about the Joker? Entirely subjective. Are we supposed to sympathize with the Joker? Also entirely subjective. Now, of course, if you're going to be a morally sound person, you might not sympathize with him because of the things he does, which are not morally right at all. But then again, the people around him aren't morally sound either. They do very immoral things, very unethical things, very mean things towards the Joker. Or Arthur. And then 8. Of course, this was the 80s, but how shitty is Thomas Wayne's security that a dangerous man was able to approach his child alone at their home, then in the bathroom, then a separate man killed him at the end? No, first of all, the way they make it sound is that he approached Bruce at their house, and then also Bruce in the bathroom, which didn't happen. He approached Thomas Wayne in the bathroom. But, I mean, I see the first part and the second part kind of the argument, but I don't really see it as a plot hole. Now, of course, it's kind of weird that just some dude can walk up to this presidential candidate's presidential candidate's house and just approach his child, and then approach the presidential candidate himself in the bathroom like it's nothing. But then Superman killed him at the end. That is... So what they're referring to is when Thomas Wayne and his wife got killed after the Joker's henchmen literally ruined the whole city. So of course the city is in ruins. There is no real security. Everything is just chaos. So of course it's plausible that that would happen. Now what I think would be more, I guess, suitable to write here is, why was Thomas Wayne and his wife alone in the middle of the city, which is in chaos? Which, I mean, it's still not a plot hole, but it would be more logical to write that. And so he killed Zazie Beetz, right? Also not a plot hole. Also up to interpretation, I guess, because we don't know if he did it. Did her daughter make it? We don't know. And it's not a plot hole. It's designed. The movie's designed to be that way. The film depicted his descent into madness, but how does this guy become a criminal mastermind? He doesn't seem capable of devising any complicated schemes. You don't know that. We have not seen enough of him to know if he's capable of doing that. We just saw his descent into madness, exactly. And we just saw his start as a criminal. And I mean, who's to say that this version of the Joker is a criminal mastermind? That is something that we will just have to see if we do get more movies about this version of the Joker, which I think we might, because the ending of this movie really made it seem like there might be a sequel. And no one was chasing him after he snatched his mom's file at Arkham. He just had time for a nice stairwell read. I mean, yeah, I kind of thought that was kind of weird too. When he got his mom's file at Arkham, nobody really tried to get it back from him. He just kind of read it in a stairwell, and that was it, which was kind of weird. But yeah, I guess that's kind of a plot hole. But I don't know. It's plot hole is a very strong word. Why did he have to be adopted? Were they just really trying to hammer home the daddy issues thing? So this isn't a plot hole. This is them just thinking the writing isn't too good. I mean, he's adopted. That's just a part of his story. And what self-respecting goon going to look at Joker and be like, yes, I'm down to be this dude's henchman? Obviously, the people in the movie that they're basically anarchists, and they think that society has wronged them. Basically, Antifa. So Joker's like a senior citizen by the time Batman gets on the scene. Now, this is just kind of stupid. The Joker is 35 in the movie. I don't know how old Bruce Wayne is in the movie exactly, but let's say he's around 8. Now, Batman in the original Earth 1 comic storyline becomes Batman at age 20. So that would be 12 years. So in 12 years, the Joker's going to be 47, and Batman is going to be Batman, or Bruce Wayne's going to be Batman. So it's still very plausible that the Joker at 47 is still going to be a criminal mastermind. I mean, that's not that old. If the late night appearance really did happen, how did suspected murderer get on TV? The two detectives really didn't tell anyone back at the precinct about their suspect. Now that, I mean, I guess, but he also, I mean, they couldn't really have known the people at the TV station or Murray, and I don't think the detectives knew that he was going to be on the Murray Franklin show. So I don't really think that's a plot hole. It's just a communication error inside of the movie, like between the detectives and Murray and stuff like that. They really need to use the song from convicted pedophile Gary Glitter, who will now earn royalties from this movie. It's a good song. It's not condoning pedophilia or anything. It's literally just a good song. I mean, you have to separate art from artists sometimes, you know. I know smoking was big in the 70s, but did Joker have to smoke that much? Actually, yeah, I realized, or I noticed that the Joker literally smokes in practically every scene. And I'm not exaggerating. Practically every scene, he has a cigarette in his hand, in his mouth. Even when he's in Arkham, he just, lights one up. Why did Joker's clown buddy treat him so nicely and give him a handgun and then later lie about it? How's that a plot hole? He's just an asshole. He's the two-faced asshole. That's literally it. Why did Todd Phillips choose to write so many jokes about the little person in the movie? Cause it was funny? Does there need to be another reason? Does Esquire think that Todd Phillips hates small people, or like what? That's just kind of stupid. It's just jokes, Why didn't they cut the TV broadcast right after the talk show host was shot in the head? I don't know. I mean, they might have panicked. I don't think they were expecting Murray Franklin to get fucking shot right then and there by the Joker. So they might have just went into shock and they didn't really know what to do, maybe. So I don't think that's a plot hole. That's just, it's plausible. If Joker is so addicted to cigarettes right now, how the heck is he going to be able to fight Batman in 20 years? I mean, that's not a plot hole. You don't know what's going to happen to the Joker from now on. Maybe he's not going to be addicted to cigarettes anymore. Maybe he will stop smoking, Or, I mean, there's people who have smoked for over 50 years and they're still, alive and kicking. And we don't know what this Joker will be like. I mean, he's a scrawny-ass dude. Physically, he's already not very strong. But, he might make up for it with firearms or stuff like that. Does Joker not recall his childhood at all? Did he block out the memories of his abuse? That's not a plot hole. That's plausible. That's a lot of abuse victims do that. Or, I mean, I don't fully recall, but I think the Joker was very young, and he might just not remember it, or he might have repressed it, or his mom might have fed him so many lies that he just started believing her instead of his own memories, because the Joker has, a form of psychosis, and I don't know if that happened because of the head injury that he got from the abuse, or he already had it, but his mom also has it, so it might be genetic, so he might not know what's real. Did Arthur go in the refrigerator and hallucinate the entire ending of the film? It's not a plot hole, that's just your own interpretation of it. Other people might not believe that, some people might believe it, and with the nature of the film, I think anything is plausible. What was the big joke in the ending that the Arkham psychologist wouldn't understand? That's not a plot hole. That's maybe it's setting something up. Or maybe he was just laughing at the entire situation. Or maybe it was the knock-knock joke that he wanted to do at Murray's show. Who knows? Why does Joker say he's not political? He used this entire segment on the talk show to make a politically charged excuse for his actions. Not a plot hole. The Joker's an unpredictable person, and he might have just said it and then let loose. It's not really a plot hole at all. All said and done, what was the point of the movie? What was it trying to say? How on earth is this a plot hole? This is literally them asking, hey, what is this movie trying to say? And I think it's also up for interpretation with the nature of the film. It's either about society in which we live in, or, I don't know, just being nicer to everyone around you. The message of the movie can be interpreted in many ways. If this is a movie that's saying society's the real villain, doesn't that just excuse the behavior of evil white men who commit murder? Whoa, what? Also, you just answered your own question from your previous one. Or, you gave an answer to the question that you were putting down here, which, is kind of stupid, but alright. Doesn't that just excuse the behavior of evil white men who commit murder? That is a very shallow way of looking at the movie. Obviously, the Joker's not someone to be idolized. He's not someone to be, sympathized with, or with the stuff he does, if you're a morally sound person. So, how does that excuse any behavior of evil white men who commit murder? That's just kind of stupid. If we're to think of this within the greater context of the DC universe, isn't this movie basically implying that the only answer to our poisoned society that produces evil white men, why do I have to keep using that, is to have another white man become a vigilante who doesn't operate under any laws or regulations? Why does them being white have anything to do with anything? Sure, the Joker is white. He's also a minority. He's a mentally ill man. And Batman is also a minority. He might be white, but he's an orphan, which is also a minority. So, I don't see the point they make. They just give the skin color of the characters without the greater context of the character in question. And this whole statement is just really stupid. We need a white man to stop the evil white man. Why does the vigilante have to be white? There's a lot of non-white superheroes in Gotham and in DC, and there's a lot of non-white villains in Gotham and in DC. So this is just a completely stupid statement, and this whole article is basically just nonsense, and it's crazy. And yeah, I'll leave the link to the article in the description, but yeah, just read it for yourself. I didn't read this part because I really don't give a shit. I just saw the plot holes, or in quotation marks plot holes, and it was just stupid as shit. So yeah, this is actually fucking retarded.